Hello, welcome to this podcast. My name is Beatrice Marse. I am a singer songwriter from France. So nowadays, I have to say, I don't come around and talk to my music so much on my podcast anymore. Well, I'm still doing stuff like I was saying on my previous podcast, but the thing is that there's so many things happening around at the moment that basically, and it is the theme of this podcast. Basically, what I'm doing right now is just like strategizing, re-strategizing, rethinking about my process and the way I'm running my life right now because I've got time to do so somehow, and like everyone else nowadays, life has been striking me hard. So it's time to think. And then I have to say that I really do enjoy recording this podcast, even though there's an handful of people who are actually listening to them. But I do take a real pleasure of recording this podcast, and as usual, recording the podcast on video, and then I put the video on my YouTube channel called Beatrice Marse. So yeah, so yeah, I'm thinking, like I was saying before, I do like everyone else watch a lot of YouTube, especially in the music genre, the producing side of things. Actually, I don't listen so much about. I don't listen much. I don't listen to music very much nowadays, apart from my own. And then whenever I'm listening to something, it's just that it has to be something that actually strike my mind, because I don't actually. I usually listen to a lot of motivational recordings. That's about it, and of course my own music, just for pleasure and motivation as well. And motivation because of a text I'm actually coming up with on my songs. So it's kind of me talking to me, but then talking also to you, and maybe somewhere along the two borders, there's something happening which I kind of enjoy. That's what I can say. So yeah, I was watching the videos, and I saw some videos where people were talking about, first of all, YouTube, the fact that they were not earning very much money on YouTube nowadays because of the advertising money, which is dropping very, very low nowadays, and we all know why. So, for a reminder, I'm recording this podcast. Is it Today is April 4th, 2020. So you know what's going around that time. It's a crisis, and actually, it's becoming an economic crisis, and somehow it is the underlying, the underlying term of this podcast, the economic crisis, which is now touching the somewhere. I would not say the recording industry so much, but I would say the artist. And to me, the term artist is anyone who's actually creating something and managed to put their work out in the world. So this is my definition of the artist. And in terms of music, it looks like that. And I was evoking the fact on one of my podcasts. It may not be the last one, might be the one before. And what I was watching was YouTube videos. Some producers said that they're actually, because, well, producers, beat makers, they're saying that their streaming figures are actually dropping. And I remember one person said that it might be the way people actually listen to your music. So how do you listen to your music? That is the question. If you got enough time, please leave a comment on my YouTube videos, or if you're on Anchor, the podcast application, leave me a message so I can hear it. So tell me how you listen to your music, because it seems that the figures are dropping, and it could be that basically the moments where people are actually listening to music might be where they're actually commuting from and to work. So it changed a little bit. So In terms of my figures, as usual, I've still got a handful of listeners. Mainly, there are figures I can see and figures I cannot see. But from the figures I can see on Spotify, it doesn't change very much. It doesn't change a lot of things to me. But for me, so uh, this is not. But it seems like that the streaming figures are actually dropping. So because of the usage, how people are listening to the music. So my thought, like few weeks back, well, actually maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, was that people, well, what I was saying on one of my podcasts was that I've read that book called Middletown in Translation. It's about a book. It's a case study of some population in the USA during the Great Depression, just at the exit of the Great Depression, and something like down that 10 years afterwards, something like that. And yeah, 1935, something like that. And what I remember reading that book is that when people had no money, the only thing they wanted to actually do is be entertained. So and I was watching a video, I don't know where, and I was actually, was it Glendon Cameron? I can't remember, or Erica Williams, I can't remember. And basically, that person was saying that the big cinema complex in America, they already know that they will see people through their doors, and all they need to do is just adapt the prices so they can have people like turning up at the door. That's all I can say. So yeah, when people have no money, what they want to do is being entertained. So where am I coming from with my cinema thingy and my and the streaming thingy is that if people are listening to music exclusively from and to commuting from and to work, then people are not working anymore. Most of the people are not working anymore, or they're working indoors. So that's it. What I was thinking when I talked about it like 2 weeks ago was that if people can't work and can't earn money, they will have to have some cutbacks. And I know I mentioned it in one of the French video I do, because I got another channel where I speak French, and I'm talking about things. And I was saying, well, if people have no money and the telephone companies actually cut the line because people can't pay, which is going to be, well, it's kind of my case, sort of, even though I managed to sort something out yesterday. But if you can't use your phone, the device you use to actually listen to your music, or if you listen to your music in your car, and then you haven't got any more you haven't paid for the platform, the access to the platform, how people are gonna, if they have no money to pay for this accesses, how are they going to listen to the music? That was my point like 2 weeks ago. And I was thinking maybe that would be the only way that the figure will drop. So, and I have to say, I didn't think about the story of commuting, because I thought taking what was written in that book as an example, I thought, well, if people want to be entertained, then okay, then they will listen to the music anyway. So it doesn't seem to be the case right now. So I think it's going to be something very interesting, because if more and more people are going to be laid off, and they actually feel like they have to sacrifice their smartphone connection, or their streaming platforms connection, or access, or whatever, then the figures are going to drop. So is it time to rethink about how you, as a recording artist, you actually strategize your career, if you have a career plan? That's going to be interesting. if you take if you've noticed that now on YouTube you got major artists, major labeled artists or major artists, I would say, to sum up, I would say that television is now on YouTube. People, celebrities are actually podcasting for some of them, or uh, YouTubing from their home. So that's changing the face of how things were done before. So I'm among this person who are saying that the old world is somehow over in terms of the way we were used to use the devices, and at the place of a creator. I can I can remember the days where when you were saying I'm a YouTuber, I'm a creator, I'm an artist, an independent artist, people were like you know laughing at your face. And now the same people who were laughing at the faces of the people at the time are now made becoming creator on YouTube and doing podcasts, and to the at the light speed right now, if you consider the trouble where the world is right now. So it's kind of interesting. And the thing is, the question I was thinking is that should artists change their strategy? Should they rethink the whole thing? Because we can't, like, for some of you who are gigging, you can't gig. If you're booked on festival, you can't go anymore. So basically, I was watching also videos on YouTube saying some people like, for some of you, there's no money coming around anytime soon. And I have to say, in 2014, when I was into a funk, I remember watching videos and people saying you need to diversify your income, the stream of your incomes. And I did it. Well, somehow it was easy because I was already doing it. So I'm saying that maybe I'm gonna be just fine, even though right now I'm not fine at all. Basically, I'm just scrapping money just to eat. That's all I can say. So, but the thing is, yeah, I think some artists will have to think of themselves as a business, a fully fledged business. And I know that some independent artists out there are not doing that, but maybe when it comes to rethink the strategy, yeah, maybe it's time to actually think as a business owner, knowing that the goods are your heart. That's what I can say. So maybe it's time right now. So to me, it doesn't change much things anymore because I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of thinking. I know why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, so I'm not that worried anymore. I'm not that worried to a certain extent because I know that even though if my music, well, in terms of music wise, I don't earn any money. I do earn some money, cents on the dollar, but not enough to actually get a regular paycheck every week. If it was I would say a normal occurrence in my life. So no, I can get paid every week, so it's not enough. So I've got some side hustle, but somehow right now I'm glad that I have some side hustle because because up to recently I was on government help and it was cut because my the rights I had to those helps were ending, and now I have to like go into something else. And in France everything takes ages, so basically I have no money, no entry for the past 2 months. I have no money at all, and then this is like coming down on me, which is whoa. And I have to say it pushes me to rethink my strategy, and I have to say that I'm gonna cut some. I have to. I had already cut a lot of things in terms of me spending money out there, but I have to say I have to cut down things again more, and yeah, somehow I think I'm gonna go into the minimalist state of mind because yeah, and I'm just I have to say, I'm just so glad that I owe money, but I'm out of dates because like like debt. So I like 6 years ago I was like overloaded with dates, and now I've managed to actually get them out of the way. I'm just glad that now with what's happening now, I'm just pleased that well, I'm out of this side of the problem. I still owe a lot of money, but not it's not debt as such. So I'm just pleased with it, even though I'm like yeah. I have to say I could be in a worse situation if, even though this situation is not very easy to live in right now. But I know that there are millions of people like me around the world that should just doesn't make that sad anymore. So yeah, as an artist, I think it's time for you to rethink. And the thing is, I was thinking, is it time to actually go into territory that you haven't been before? I think to some extent, then you should. Should I do that? I don't know. I was thinking maybe I should try to do some live streaming, me recording my music and everything. I don't know. I know that I have some equipment to do that, but I don't know technically. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I'm thinking about it for the first time. I'm thinking about it, to show you how I start my songs, but I'm not too sure 100% because this is not the way I wanted to go into the thing. I'm very much into the recording process, which is for me something very private, and then actually I would say the first word that came into my mind is just like dish my work to the world, and that's it. So like playing concerts and everything is not my thing. I have to say this is not my thing. So should I get into out of body experience, um, coming from experience since I'm over 50. uh, I've been doing a lot of out of body experience for the past 50 years of my life, and definitely the right thing that I know is that with my music I don't want to do that. If it doesn't feel right, I'm not gonna do it. I don't think that I should. I don't see the use of doing things if I don't feel like doing it just for the sake of the money. That's all I can say. So it's kind of interesting because, and for all those people who are kind of flexing, posing with their music and their various social media accounts, uh, I think it's time for you to be real and to actually stop the fake, and being able to come to in front of your audience and maybe tell it like it is. And the reason I'm saying that is that some are all those celebrities coming into YouTube making videos. I mean, some are. I feel like they because some of them look so uncomfortable with the whole thingy. It feels for the first time very authentic, if you understand what I'm saying. So I'm saying, as an independent artist, if you've been faking the funk, I mean, maybe it's time for you to be real, because now, I mean, we all know that we're not gonna get money. We're not gonna make money the way we used to anyway. So the streaming, it might be coming back. Uh, yeah, what I'm saying is that if you everything is based on streaming for you, if your income is based solely on streaming, it might be that you got a hit, you got hit, your revenue are down, or maybe not, but from what I kind of gather, they are slightly down. So what are we going to do about it? So what are you going to do about it? How are you going to look forward? Because if you're all, I would say, if your whole business structure was on streaming, what are you going to do about it? Are you thinking about side hustle and everything? So I have to say that right now, there's the only thing I know from the whole situation is that if I haven't got a telephone line, if I haven't got a proper internet connection, basically, I'm gonna be out of well, but I'm dead. As simple as that. So what do you think about it? Are you thinking of are you rethinking your business plans? Tell me, leave a comment. And I have to say my hard disk is full right now, so you hear from me next time. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I'll come back to do another video because now you know that I like it, I enjoy it.